The New England squad is out, and I thought I'd do a video on who should have made and who deserved to be in that England squad. So let's get right into it. If you're new to the channel, smash that like button and do subscribe. First of all, I want to just quickly say as well, I have been to Cheltenham, so I apologise about my voice. Yes, it's a little bit croaky today, but let's get right into it. Looking at the squad, we've got Jordan Pickford, Nick Pope and Aaron Ramsdale. I think those three keepers really can't really argue. Yes, Pickford's been poor, but other than that, really, those are our three top English goalkeepers. And I think Ramsdale has to start out of those three. Then if we go through our defence, we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, Connor Cody, Mark Guehi, Reece James, Harry Maguire, Tyrone Mings, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Ben White. John Stones, personally, I still don't think he should be in the England squad. He doesn't play enough games of football, and I know people might give me a bit of stick for this, but I personally don't think he should be in there. And Harry Maguire, his form has been awful for Man United this season, but those two really, those are my personal opinions. I can see why they make this squad their leaders. They've been there for a while. But then the likes of Tyrone Mings. How on earth Tyrone Mings keeps making this squad is ridiculous. Players like Max Kilman. I don't understand how Max Kilman hasn't made this squad. A left-footed centre-half who, yes, has had struggles. I think it was against Crystal Palace and he was dropped against Leeds last night. But he's a good defender. We've seen it throughout his time. He's a better defender than Tyrone Mings, who's made multiple mistakes across his time at the Villa. And to be honest, I don't see how he's good enough to be in that squad. And then also, you look at Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's had a pretty poor season, let's be honest. But in that centre-back position, I don't understand how either, maybe even Tomori. Tomori is part of an AC Milan side who are top of the table. He was personally picked by Maldini. Everyone loves him there. He's been absolutely integral. His passing is great. He's pacey. He's very good in the air. And he's now more composed on the ball. That's what I've watched a couple of games. I've watched a few highlights of him. And you can tell he's so much more assured. He doesn't play with any pressure. Because that's what a lot of youngsters I do like. When they go out abroad, there's less media pressure on them and there's less comparisons and they're not in the spotlight, so they can just focus on their football and grow, because he's doing that over there. He should really be in this England squad. I don't know how he hasn't made there. Then we'll talk about the left-back position, which I briefly mentioned and discussed, the Luke Shaw discussion. Luke Shaw has had a very, very poor season. He's been put out by Alex Telles. How Luke Shaw, for me, has made this squad. And I believe if Ben Chilwell hadn't been injured for so long, I think Ben Chilwell would be in over him. I'd hope to think that, though. But Luke Shaw, who would I play instead? Tyreek Mitchell. Tyreek Mitchell has to be in that left-back position. And I don't understand why he didn't make this squad. And I've read online reports today suggesting that he could still get a call-up, which I don't understand how that works. I don't know if there's an injury in the camp or something like that. But there are reports suggesting that Tyreek Mitchell could make the England squad still a bit late on. But he should have made that squad straight away. He's been so consistent now for about 2 seasons. And he's growing and growing and growing. And now he's adding a bit of an attacking side to his game. I think he's really, really turned himself into an established left-back in the Premier League. And Patrick Vieira has changed him for the better. He's looking so good and assured on the ball. And defensively, he is so strong. Can play in a back 5 and a back 3, in a back 4. He really, really suits it. Okay, then let's talk about the midfield now. This is where we're getting a bit more juicy. Jude Bellingham, Conor Gallagher, Jordan Henderson, Mason Mount, Declan Rice, and James Ward-Prowse. I'm pretty happy with that. Realistically, I don't think there's not anyone I'd drop there. I can see why all of those players have been picked, but I do feel like Jacob Ramsey is unlucky that he's not made this squad. I think Jacob Ramsey has shown how good he has been. Under Steven Gerrard, he's been a revelation for the Villa. He's been so good, popping up with goals, assists, his link-up play with Coutinho. I don't know if Coutinho's been teaching him something or he's been drinking the same stuff as Coutinho has, because honestly, his game has improved so much and he looks so good on the ball. And as I said, you watch him play, he looks like he's been around for years. He's an established Premier League player. He plays with no pressure, just so casual. And as well, he seems to be bulking a lot more, because that is the problem with younger midfielders a lot of the time. They come to the Premier League or they start breaking into the side and they look weak and you can tell they're youngsters. Whereas Jacob Ramsey, you would not think that. The way he graces around the pitch, he's probably been the best player for Villa this season, I'd say, since he's come in. But he's made McGinn look, he looks like he should be rubbing shoulders to the likes of McGinn, who I think is a great centre mid. So that midfield, yes, it's a very good midfield, but I think Jacob Ramsey could have had an argument to get there. He probably should have been there maybe over Conor Gallagher. That's who I probably would have tipped him for. But I do think the future of the England midfield is Declan Rice with Jude Bellingham and Jacob Ramsey as the midfield 3. That is personally what I believe in the future. You'll have to let me know, guys. Also, let me know anyone you think I miss or anybody you think deserves a shout for the England squad. So smash that like button and do subscribe. But now to the attacking side. This is now when it gets interesting. It's got Tammy Abraham, Phil Foden, Jack Grealish, Harry Kane, Piccolo Sacco, Emil Smith-Rowe, and Raheem Sterling. Now, it's an interesting front attack players. You look at the likes of Tammy Abraham, who's made the squad, and this is where I'll go back to the point of tomori. You can see, obviously, he's watching the Serie A. He's at a Roma side, Tammy Abraham is, and he's been doing really, really well this season, and he should be making the squad. So quite clearly, Gareth Southgate has got scouts and people watching Serie A, so why on earth isn't Tomori getting this shout? But that attack is very, very good, and Piccolo Sacco, I think, has been the player for me that has been absolutely insane this season. He has been so good, and you can really see he's turned that summer and the Euros mistake and just improved. He's come out from that a better player, and right now he would have to be starting for me on that right-hand side. Foden, again, you know what you can get from him. Jack Grealish has had he's struggled a bit at Man City, but we all know he's a great player. And it's an interesting one because it's him or really Sancho. The two of them offer completely different styles of play. Sancho's a player who we know what he can offer. He's got a lot of goal contributions in the last couple of weeks and last couple of game weeks, but you know what he's going to offer. He's going to take on players. But this season, I think he has struggled on that left-hand side at Manchester United because I haven't really seen him driving at players like we saw at Dortmund. He keeps cutting inside and struggling, whereas Grealish in recent weeks, he has been a bit of a revelation for Man City. He's been driving with the ball, taking players on, especially that Man United game where I thought he was a man of the match. He was very, very good. And he's starting more games. He's played in the Champions League. So I can see why Jack Grealish has been picked over Jadon Sancho because I think everyone is looking at the recency with both of them. Grealish he's been very good recently, and Sancho is very good recently. But Grealish has been a man that England have turned to in the past. I know I might sound like I'm contradicting myself, but I sort of see what they both offer, and I'd prefer to have the like of Jack Grealish in my side. But Sancho is unlucky to miss out on the entire squad. That's an interesting one, an odd one. But then what I like to think is, if Jared Bowen hadn't got injured, could I see him really getting in this side over the likes of Grealish or Smith-Rowe? Smith-Rowe's an interesting one as well because Smith-Rowe is a great player, but he can't start for Arsenal, but he makes the England squad. So I'm surprised potentially I'd have maybe swapped Sancho for Smith-Rowe. But again, this is a good problem to have, competitive side where in recent years we haven't had the likes of this attacking threat where we can swap in and players out, and that is a good problem to have. It's a very, very good problem to have. And then obviously Raheem Sterling, I think, always has to be in the young squad. He's a great player. You know what you're going to get with him. Very, very good. Harry Kane, yeah, probably. I agree with Harry Kane and Tammy Abraham. Potentially, if Dominic Calvert-Lewin can get back fit again, playing every week, because I know he has played, but playing every single week, getting back to his full fitness and the form he showed before, then he probably will make his way back into this squad. One player actually I forgot to discuss from earlier was Kyle Walker, and I find this one a really interesting debate. Why on earth Kyle Walker hasn't made this squad, I do not know, because Kyle Walker is so good. He can play in multiple and variety of positions. I really like him, and what he does for us, I think he kind of went unnoticed at the Euros, because his defensive work, his recovery runs were absolutely integral to everything that England did well, because he literally got us out of so many sticky situations, and I still think he's got to be in this squad, and I don't understand why he's been dropped. He's playing throughout the season in a Man City side that are top of the league, so that one's quite an odd shout. I was quite surprised at that, but who knows, we'll have to wait and see. Potentially, will he make the next one? Is it just a one-off? But as well, Kieran Trippier probably would have made the squad if he hadn't got injured. But overall, I'm not annoyed at the squad. I think it's a good bunch. It's good to see that Mark Guehi made the squad, but there are other players that I'd have probably picked over him. As I said, I think Max Kilman and Tomori are very unlucky, and Jacob Ramsey to not make this squad, and Sancho. But overall, guys, let me know what you think of the England squad, who you would have taken. Actually, sorry, one of them mentioned, Ryan Kent. I believe Ryan Kent should have made this squad as well, because Ryan Kent has been absolutely tearing it up in the Europa League. I've watched a lot of Rangers recently, and he's a player who I definitely think could be in. No one's really discussing him as a player to make this England squad. I heard someone call him on Twitter the Scottish League's Mbappe, because he's a great player. He drives it. It's offering something different, something that we were expecting Sancho to do, but we've seen Ryan Kent do it. He absolutely tore Dortmund apart and Red Star Belgrade with his driving runs. He's so direct towards goal, and he can get goals and assists. So I think potentially he's got a good shout. And again, this is now where, because of the league, will he get picked? That's a whole discussion for another video, but I do think he's unlucky to miss out on this squad, or even just to be mentioned and named and argued and thrown into the hat. But yeah, Ryan Kent's another one that I do think potentially could have made the England squad. But let me know, guys, do you think I've missed anyone? Let me know if you're happy with the England squad, and let me know your thoughts on everything I've said. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment and subscribe for more content coming your way. But BucketHatSam over and out. Thank you. Goodbye.